Well, hello everybody, I'm LA Little and this is your daily NeoTA wrap where we take a look at these markets and we do it from a neoclassical perspective each time, asking ourselves what happened today and what does it tell us about the coming ones. Do a show 4 times a week, every Monday through Thursday, broadcast at or before 10 o'clock Eastern Time, archived on YouTube under the channel LA Little. We got quite a snowstorm moving in. We'll see if it disrupts our services tomorrow. It's supposed to be 2 feet coming in all at once. I suspect it won't, but just a heads up. As far as these markets, talk about a heads up and a snowstorm, this market simply won't quit. Up again today, up and over some of the key areas that we've been watching. And it's the thing about neoclassical is you say to yourself, okay, what is the pressing question right now? You propose the thesis, right? And then you say, okay, let's see how it reacts, and that will give us some sort of a clue. And hopefully you propose the right thesis that gives you the right indication. The thesis that we had proposed was, could we get over breakdown bars? We tried for 6 days on the Russell to get over it, failed every time. Today blows past it, right? Up and over, volume expands, volume expanded across the boards today. Like it or not, this market wants to go higher again. And, we had proposed the question of whether or not the earnings season, we proposed that on Sunday. Is it earnings season going to, or are they going to throw up their hands and just kind of, bag it? Or are they going to be able to squeeze out enough to make things work? And right now, folks, they are squeezing out enough. And again, I don't know how many times I've seen it. I don't like what I see, but I can't argue with what I see. The market makes up its own rules. I just have to play by them if I'm going to play. And those rules right now is I want to go up. And if they want to go up, then I got to go with them. I can't fight them. And it's been that way for multiple years now. I don't know how many more years or how many more months or weeks or days it will be that way. All I know is that when it is that way, then I simply, say, hey, that's the way it is. Let's do it. And right now, that's the way it is. Gold up, bonds up. The short end of the curve, the long end of the curve actually fell. Oil gets a nice big spike again today. The dollar is down 0.5%. Looking at the indexes. So if we pop over here, what do we have? We have volume expanding. We're going after the highs. They get over the key area. What's that key area? Well, it was this breakdown bar. They got over the top of it. They got over it last week, couldn't hold it, right? You get over it today, you get volume expansion, you're going after the 2 swing point highs. That's the story. That's what it's going after. Tomorrow's Thursday. Then you got Friday. Right now, those earnings are, quote unquote, good enough. In other words, the bar has been lowered enough to where they're not surprising to the downside, and they had enough in the kitty to make it happen. And we saw it today. And it's not like they're stumbling all over themselves to buy this stuff. Don't get me wrong. But they are buying it. And if they're buying it, then you don't want to stand in their way. It's that way. That's just the way it works. So as long as they want to buy it, then I'm going to play along with them as best I can. And right now, they're going to try another ABCD structure at the top side to get it up and over. They had a small one here. They did that one already, right? Now they've got another one going from here. Got the pullback there, and now they're going to try to run it up. You had to get them over these swing point highs. It'd be a nice big move to the upside. Well, not a big move, but a move to the upside. That will take and pull these weekly charts higher as well. So if we look at the weekly and grab this, well, we've actually got an ABCD structure that has been out here for ages, right? And it hasn't been able to complete, and that's this one back here. Now you're going to have a nested ABCD structure inside that's going to try to work its way higher. This one doesn't even get to where that one is, but let's take it one step at a time. Can you get over the highs? Can you extend, right, and make it higher? Right now, that's what they're going to try to do. It's the setup, and the setup really is shown here on the Russell. You get over the highs, that top 1268.16, you blow over it today because you can finally get over this breakdown bar, which is 1265. Took it 6 days, folks. I mean, they tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 They tried 7 days to get over that thing, and on the 8th, they do succeed. So, Russell, over the highs, volume expanding, wants to go higher. NDX, what does it do? It comes up to that breakdown bar. It's going to test it tomorrow. So that's the weakest one. And then we look at the composite. The composite's got the 50.06, and where does it trade to? 50.11, so it's over it. Also, doesn't have the volume, but it is over it. So it looks to me, like it or not, that this market wants to go higher. That was the thesis. Can you get over the bar? You do. Do I like the way it looks? No. Is my trader instinct in sync with it? No. I don't like it at all. But I don't argue with what the market does. We're only 2 days into the beef of the earnings season, but so far they're not selling them. And if they're not going to sell them, and I'm sure they will sell some of them somewhere, but if they're not selling them in a large way, then this market isn't going down. And why is that? Well, because everything else is going up. Look around the world, folks. China, Europe, Asia in general, Europe in general, it all is, blasting higher. With it going higher, unless there's something going to drive us lower, we're not going to go lower. And the earnings was the catalyst potentially to drive us lower. Didn't happen, or at least it hasn't happened. And unless that changes dramatically, it doesn't look like it is going to happen. So that's where we're at. That's where the markets are. I'll come back. We'll take a quick look at a couple stock sectors. And I don't have any questions tonight. Folks, if you have questions, it honestly makes for a better show, I think. At least I believe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just me dreaming. But if you come over here to NeoTA TV, watch TA TV, pop down, there's a little area here that, a couple of ways you can send me messages, and I'd be happy to take your questions. And it's up to you, but if you'd like to, if you have one of those burning questions and you think I might be able to answer it, or maybe you want to stump me, send it to me and I'll take a look at it. I'll be right back. We'll take a look at the sectors and talk about kind of the final thoughts probably.
At TA Today, we have many services that teach trading to our clients. You can use LA's tools to trade and/or learn how to trade alongside LA using his neoclassical methodology. To earn these free services with no subscription or charge, go to our homepage, click on either the tools and earn free services or trade with LA and earn free services. On this page, you can refer a friend. Fill out information about yourself and the friend you are referring, and you will earn up to 3 months of free service with no charge as long as your friend continues to be a subscriber. So remember, refer one friend and earn up to 3 months of free service with us. The more people you refer that sign up, the more months you earn. If you have any questions, let us know. Thanks from the TA Today team, bringing you tools and ideas to help you trade.
Okay, a key sector I've been focused on is the financials. Now, the financials are the big numbers that come out this week and next. The top of the breakdown bar here, that's the March 25th bar, is 24.46. We got over it today, but we closed under it. So if there's a caveat to all of this, it's this, right? You really want to see this get over it and stay over it. Had more volume today. That suggests that it will try again tomorrow. You got some more earnings in the morning. This is something to keep watching. I started off the show here talking about, hey, the market wants to go higher. Yeah, it does. Is it like barreling higher? No, it's not. It's a crawl. It's a labored crawl. It's one of the reasons I said, my trader instincts don't agree. I'm not in sync with this because, honestly, I really don't like the looks of the way it's doing it. But I can't argue with a market that wants to go up. And even if I don't want to buy domestic stocks, then go buy something that you can buy. If you like gold, buy gold. If you like, whatever the trade is, buy the trade. Maybe bring your time frames in, make them shorter. You don't fight the market though. You know, you don't sit here and short against it because you don't like it. When the setup comes to short, there'll be money in it, but until it does, you just can't mess with that side of the equation. And right now, you know, even if you don't have a large footprint to the long side, your footprint has to be long, has had to be long. It's just a question of how long you want to be. And personally, I've been on the fence quite a bit because I don't like the way it looks. Let's look at another key sector. That was the biotechs. They get over the breakdown bar. I actually shorted these yesterday, made some money, and got out of them because we couldn't break down on the indexes. But it's over it. So this thing's going to go try to pop into the top. Stocks was strong today. Intel had earnings. That one's still got to get up to the breakdown bar. The thing that was interesting to me was that some of these stocks, not Amex, but AMAC, some of these stocks that, if I can spell it right here, let me try one more time. Oh my goodness, what is it? Well, let's go to one I know. How about KLAC? These stocks had been sold down already, and these are equipment suppliers. And these guys, the CAPEX budget on Intel is getting cut drastically, and Intel's one of probably 50% of the market is TSM, Intel, and I forget who the other one is, but it's like three guys, three companies, and Intel says, hey, we're going to cut it. Well, it's already built into these stocks, right? Here's KLAC, for example, and it had already sold down quite a bit. That news was not new news. It actually rallied today. So a lot of times the reactions will tell you that folks already knew what was going to happen. I mean, they already tuned into this. I was watching this sector to see if there was a short setup, and then they started to rally. The stocks we just looked at, so the stock still looks okay. The big move the last couple days has been over here in the XLE. So you had another big spike up today. All had a huge spike up as well. Supposedly inventory numbers weren't as bad as expected. Oil's going to try to get up to those tops again. So that top it never quite tested was 2029 on the USO. Looks like it's going to try to get up there still. If I look across most of the sectors, they still don't look all that interesting. But the indexes, and especially the small caps, are trying to break higher. And when they try to break higher, you just simply have to go with them. Okay, so let me see, what else is there? I think those were the main things. Let me come back with the final thoughts here, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. I'll be right back. So as we come back here for the final thoughts, I have a spreadsheet that I keep, and basically, what's on this is all the symbols, the industry group they're in, how they were coming in terms of their positioning coming in. And it's, all the ones that are reporting this week. And I've been checking these off as I go, looking at them. So let's take a quick look here at some of these that have reported yesterday and today, and just, look at the reactions that are taking place. I'm going to flip through these really quick. But a lot of times you can learn a lot just looking at the patterns of how these things trade. Auto parts, this came in bearish, it was bearish, right? That one really didn't do anything. So that was the Pep Boys. KMI, this is oil and gas pipelines. They came in bullish, they got treated bullishly. CBSH, this is a Midwest banking stock. Came in kind of sideways, going kind of sideways. So a lot of these reads are kind of what it's doing. That one actually looks like it's going to work back to the top. Ozark, bullish on the trade, on the earnings. J&J, this one came in sideways, didn't go anywhere. It went sideways. So far, every one of my reads are exactly correct. This is kind of interesting. Fastnell, this one actually was bearish. They got a little pop up. Looks like they're going to trade sideways here. So that one actually went up. JP Morgan, they came in looking sideways. They pop up to new highs. Wells Fargo was the opposite, looking bullish, and it couldn't trade up. They had bad earnings. Well, bad in the sense that they missed. So all of those, been treated well. But here's CSX. CSX came in bearish, and they are bearish. They looked like they were going to trade higher today, but they actually gave it all up. Intel we saw came in sideways. That one actually is probably going to trade sideways. Going to test that swing point high tomorrow. LLTC, another semiconductor last night, trades up, doesn't go anywhere. Folks, when you look at these charts, do they look that bullish? No, no. Why are they doing well? Why is the market at highs? Because you have general strength across most, well, markets are made up of percentages, right, of what's in them. You know, they're not equal weighted. For example, the Dow Jones price weighted. You know, the S&P is not equal weighted either, although it's fairly broad. Index definitely, you know, weighted on terms of percentages, like, you know, Apple's the biggest weighting in it. And Apple hasn't been going anywhere. If you look at Apple, that's why the index is lagging. Apple's not doing anything. You know, the weighting structure is what defines whether things are at highs or not. These indexes are at highs because generally, what's happened? Well, what's happening is this particular sector, or actually this particular index, is the one that's going up. Russell. And even though it's not a large percentage of everything, it's a large number of stocks. So the broad set of stocks are generally going higher, and that's got the indexes, you know, hanging at the highs. So today we had JB Hunt. JB Hunt had, actually it was yesterday after the bell, they had good earnings, or was it before the bell? I guess it was, let me see, it was on 14th. That was yesterday. So that was yesterday morning. They got a good pop up, over, back under. It's going to fade in some. It's in a bad sector, right? The IYT is struggling. But, you know, the truckers of that sector, the truckers are the strongest group. Today, CNS. Let's see what this one looks like. So that one trades down. I came in thinking it was, that was asset management. And I came in thinking it wouldn't be so good. Actually, I had it as bullish. Why did I have that? I don't know. It looks like I was looking at the wrong chart or something. There's no way that was bullish. Anyway, Netflix after the bell today. This thing was up like 40, 50 bucks. They were at the highs. They were bullish coming in. They get a nice big spike up. SNDK. SanDisk. SanDisk was bearish, and I didn't see what they did after the bell. Let me see if I can see what their numbers look like after the bell here right quick, because I wasn't watching them. SanDisk trades down, so they trade down after the bell. Travel Zoo was up after the bell. That one came in looking bearish, and actually that one has a good shot to get back up to this breakdown bar, to the top of it. Schwab was this morning, SCHW. Let's see what that one looks like. And that was bullish coming in, and that one actually held up pretty well. That one's probably going to go try to test those highs before it's over. The airline Delta was bearish coming in, and really it actually traded up pretty strong today, but it's a pretty bad candle at the end of the day. And one more here, UFPI, which is a lumber wood production, a Universal Forest, and that sector has been good. That's a good trade. That's a good looking trade today. Looks like it will try to trade back towards the highs. So, you know, most of these stocks, the bar is low enough, they're able to get over them, and so far they've been able to do pretty well as a result of it. Let's look at, oh, there was one more this morning. Bank of America traded this morning, traded down, couldn't do anything. And another regional was PNC, also traded down with some heavy volume. And I think there was one more, yeah, USB, another banking stock. That one also didn't trade very well. So the banking sector really not doing all that well. Let's see, tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? So we'll start with the morning, and it looks like we've got, here we go, CNSI. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so that one's on a nice run. That one is quite bullish coming in. CHKE, which is apparel stores, Cherokee, also bullish coming in. AXP, that's in the morning. Let's see what that one looks like. This one actually has been trading down ever since they lost the Costco account, which was back here. Their earnings are probably going to be decent, so I'd be curious to see how they trade. Here's a very good looking stock called Now. It's ServiceNow. It's an internet-based service finder. I've liked this stock for a long time, traded into it, out of it right now. It is a good looking stock coming in, so we'll see how it trades. GS, Goldman Sachs. Now we got a bad tick on here, so we can't really see this chart. Have to go fix that. Schlumberger tomorrow. Let's see what Schlumberger looks like. That one actually traded up pretty nice today. Let's see what the weekly is. And it's over those key bars. This one's coming into the swing point low finally. So it's doing a full retest regen, it looks like, finally. And you're getting that probably on a number of these stocks with the oil and the nice spike. So, you know, earnings not great, but earnings good enough to not sell this thing off. And if that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. Folks, you know, my take here is, you know, if you're not long, you have to look probably for some post-earning plays, at least have a little bit of a footprint alongside. But don't stand in front of this market, even if you don't want to trade it long. You know, don't go stupid, go short. You know, there will be a short trade, and you just have to time it when it's time. But right now isn't the time. You got breakouts. Breakouts are not something you short. Not until they extend and do some sort of a blow off, or do an over under or a 2-bar reversal or something. So that's where we sit for tonight. Thanks for joining me. Have yourself a great night. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow with the snowfall. And take care. Good night.